how 2.2 million people who had died out of COVID or in the last year or so from natural cause of COVID are contributing to the planet development. And in here I would like to take you a little bit on the process of death and how our experiences that we have collected through our life are a seed for the next generation to take them into another understanding and level of consciousness. See, during our life, short or long, we are constantly experimenting at the level of the senses, experimenting at the level of the mind, experimenting at the level of emotions, experimenting or experiencing the memories. We experiment our ancestors' legacy and lineage. We feel as well the earth or the place that we live on. So it's a lot of factors that enrich our understanding and perception of who we are as a human and how we are able to pass this on other people. If you are a parent, you have a blood lineage. You have a direct sync with your children, and anything that you are experiencing or that you are experimenting with, the blood is immediately transferring that in the present moment. So no need for you to stress yourself out as a parent, say, oh, I need to teach my child to be this, to think this way. It's only 5% of the actual transmission of wisdom that how it's done is actively you being in an environment with others and sharing with others who you are. But in the moment of death, in the moment when you decide that you have complete your messages here on earth, you start to separate from the elements that form your body. You start releasing, first you lose weight, right? Naturally we lose weight, and in any program that you have chosen to die, the loss of earth element start to go away. And with that I mean, if you can imagine that the earth elements is a vibration, and that vibration, what your earth have learned, it come back to earth. And so the same thing with your water, it come back to the oceans, and your fire, your temperature, it go back to the sun, and your air, your vata, it go back to the atmosphere of earth. And there is then an infusion of data and the elements of the earth at that particular moment when you die, when you release yourself from the form. So the intelligence of the experiences of what you had made yourself aware during your life is contained in the vibrational aspect of the elements, of the 5 elements. So imagine you just leave all your perception in the waters and in the earth and so on. So anyone who step on the earth and anyone who swim in that water or drink that water or the plants are receiving your vibration, are receiving your teachings. That's the message that you are leaving. So in the moment of death, that process, if it's conscious, you are happy. You are happy to start releasing your experiences. You don't have regrets. You don't see that, oh, I waste my time. Or, no, because every single experience you have, even looking at sunset, or everything is being recorded in your form, and when you dissolve the form, it goes away. It goes back to the elements, to the mother. And with all the amount of people, 2.2 million people dying right now, and a moment of stress, and a moment where they don't have time to process all this, where you are just embraced by love. On the contrary, you are embraced by overstimulus in hospitals and fear, and you see more people dying, and so on and so forth. So the wisdom that these people, that and statistically is the age is more than 55. So it's people who have walk on earth, and it's people who has wisdom, and is not releasing the full wisdom because of the conditions of how they are dying. So that create a kind of a stress in the wisdom around the planet and all the elements around. There's no way for the new generations to breathe in and to walk on and to have the light of the wisdom of the elders or the ones who have died. And this is a very, very important process in the evolution of humanity. It's how you or we recycle information from the older generations, or from the ones who die consciously, to the next generation. That's why it's so important that you understand your life, that you put in perspective why you are here. And it's not about doing stuff, it's to experience stuff fully, 100%, and consciously, and with no regrets, and with joy. That's what you hear. You are a messenger already by being here. By being here, you're already completing the mission of arriving. How you express, what are the choices you're making, how you design your life is your wisdom. And it's a point of perspective that others may want to take, or they are observing and say, that doesn't work. So when we honor our wisdom, we are honoring the elements, and we are honoring the recycle of information. Because, see, we think that progress of evolution is in relationship to technology. But without technology, without the consciousness, it will make us a technology, not the sovereign individual that manage technology, but the technology will override us, and that's not wisdom, that is not equanimity. We need to maintain the purity of who we are as a human, the identity of humanity, through looking at the wisdom, where we come from, and how I am accepting the teachings of other humans in other parts of the planet, how I am accepting the teachings of war or abuse or power or joy, how I am dealing with the wisdom that have left, that people have left, and how I am using that information as a platform for me to apply it in my own experiences. So that's something that we need to, that we can contribute to the dying and to the death. Is not only praying and see that we can do ceremonies to circulate that stressed wisdom in the planet, or at least the ones from the people who have died in certain violent conditions, how I can be liberated. That wisdom can be liberated and circulated and distributed in a way that can be producing a much better balanced humanity.